Hey, good evening to you, everyone. It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. Welcome, welcome, one and all. I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear from an undisclosed location somewhere in the swamps of Central Florida where, yes, in fact, there are dungeons to be delved, as one who doubted me found out to her woe. Anyway, how are you guys? I hope you're doing fantastic. Hey, look at that. 22 folks already. Y'all embarrassing me over here. Josh Butler, good evening. Daniel Rowan, Michael Dale, Daniel Clark, Joe Kaufman, Damien247, Drone Swarm, Michael Dale, I think I already got you. Doc Flamingo, the Ultra American TTRPGer. Couldn't we do that to We Didn't Start the Fire? I should try that one day because I have a lovely singing voice, as Luther Pendragon has told me many times. I hope you guys are doing well. Wheeling Dragon, hello. Lord Misfit, good to see you. I had to say it out loud because you typed it all in caps. Anyhow, welcome to the show, everybody. We have got a week ahead of us. Let me tell you what. But before I get into that, let me just do the call to action. The call to action, please, guys. If you are if YouTube just kind of sent you here in a very sensuous way, because that's what that is. If YouTube sent you here and you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, please click the subscribe button and make sure that bell is clicked for notification purposes. Guys, I stream 5 nights a week, sometimes 6, occasionally 7 live streams about classic TTRPG stuff. Hey, Rabbit Wrangler, yes, you'll never get that here. Never get that here. 5 nights a week, live streaming TTRPG stuff, interstitial videos about TTRPG news, stuff that you guys can use in the old school. Look, if the old school for you started with 4th edition, hey, we're all grognards. Every time in 2032, when they roll out another edition, all you 6E fans, all you people out there, I'm going to get into D&D with a new edition. You will be a grognard. It's a state of mind, not a number of edition. But anyway, Miss Bella Games, Timothy M. Holt. Good to see you too. Tim's an awesome guy. He's got a channel here on YouTube. It is a fantastic little channel. You should definitely go subscribe. It's just Timothy M. Holt. You can copy and paste his name into another tab on YouTube and go there. And Dungeon Ministers over on Twitter. Good to see you. But anyway, so please do click the subscribe button because we do awesome stuff all the way along. If you're watching over on Twitter, please jump over here on YouTube real quick and click the subscribe button, and then you can jump back over on Twitter. I promise you won't get any cooties. Nothing too terribly bad. Maybe a few cookies, maybe a few trackers. I don't know. But the important thing is we can all have a lot of fun. Yo, Dano. Did he sneak in here? Yo, Dano, you were called a gatekeeping grognard today? Good for you, brother. Anyway, it's good to see you here, my friend. And it is Monday night, and what we do Monday night, generally Monday night is just kind of open BS time. I talk about my weekend, you talk about your weekends. I can't hear you, so, I talk about the week ahead. And if we got cool stuff, well, I share cool stuff with you. And guess what? I got some cool stuff today. You guys want a little mail call? Because I sure as hell didn't get a miniature from IGN. I'm going to be canceling that tomorrow. Going to go up to Target and pick up one myself while they're still being made, IGN. Anyway, so let's talk about the cool stuff I got, and let's talk about positive things, because I am all about positivity. Mark Morrison, good to see you. I already said Daniel Rowan. Wheeling Dragon. Oh, by the way, yeah, guys, Wheeling Dragon. She is a dice creatrix, so you should definitely check out her stuff out there. Let's get into mail call because it's super cool. The first is fairly quick, and I want to talk about this. Dare me? That'd be only like 3 shots of vodka, Tim. I could do that. As long as I could have some orange juice. Could I have orange juice? Like a vodka and OJ shot? If it was an official shot of vodka, but with some orange juice in it, I would do that. I would absolutely do that. I drank a bottle of red wine once when I was on the show. I shouldn't. Kids, don't do that. Jorge Uribe coming to us all the way from is it Chile? You're in Chile, I believe. But anyway, welcome. So let's get into it. Let's dive into stuff over here. So we got it's not per se an unboxing. It is a mail call. I already took the stuff out of the box, but let's go. So the first thing I got, I'm very happy about this. This is a copy of Oriental Adventures. It is a well-loved copy of Oriental Adventures. We'll do a deep dive of Oriental Adventures one day, but not with this copy. I'll get a copy, but not with this copy. Why? This is a special copy because this copy was donated to me. This was donated to me by Sean at Mage's Musings. This copy of Oriental Adventures is going in to the donated AD&D library. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with this, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the donated AD&D library, let me allow me to explain myself. Allow myself to introduce myself. I received last fall a near complete library of first edition AD&D rule books. There was a Monster Manual 2, a Fiend Folio. I picked up a Dungeon Master's Guide from someone who no longer needed that. There was a player's handbook that I was able to throw in there, and a thick stack of classic modules. I had a spare keep on the Borderlands, but in there was a Tomb of Horrors, a G123, a D1-2, and a D3. I think L1 and L2 were in there, but don't quote me on that. Maybe a T1. I'll have to go back and check. The point is, it was a fat stack of stuff, and I don't need it. I have a full library of both collected and, for regular daily driver use, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons First Edition. And folks, I have been blessed. Whether it's by you folks who subscribe to the channel, you folks who occasionally super chat, people who just come in and give the video a thumbs rating and leave a comment. If you follow me on Twitter, if you don't do any of those things and you've just said, hey, it's a good job, man. I like your stuff. Good going. I have been blessed more than I could ask for. And when my dear friends gave me yet another library of first edition AD&D, given how exceptionally blessed I was in 2023, because my dear friend Bluto, that's just his user handle. I'm not going to dox him. And a bunch of you guys also contributed to my wife and I being able to go to GaryCon and me getting to go to University of Alabama football home game in what we didn't know at the time, but later found out was Nick Saban's retirement season. And it was all on them. How can I look at the world and say I'm anything but blessed? And I want to share that blessing forward. Right now, there's somebody out there who wants to play first edition AD&D. Maybe they've never played it. Maybe they played it when they were a kid. But they don't have the means. Not even to get the PDFs. and they want physical books. Okay? And you might say, oh, you can go to archive.org and get the PDFs of all this stuff, Bill. It's just click on www.url, www.archive.org. I get it. But a lot of us really like the physical books, having these in our hands. And there's somebody out there who they just don't have the means, and they're not going to have the means. Things are tight out there, folks. It's not a good time. Lots of people are paycheck to paycheck. Lots of people don't know where the next paycheck's coming from. And if I can share those blessings and lift somebody up and let them connect with friends again with a nice, well-loved set of rule books, then by God, I'm going to do that. So Mage's Musings heard me first announce this and said, hey, I got an Oriental Adventures I'll throw in. So here we go. Another great book goes into that collection. And I'm gonna decide. If you know somebody, now odds are most of you watching this, you're in a fine place. All right? You're good to go on first edition AD&D. But maybe you know somebody who isn't. Maybe you know of someone who isn't. Or maybe you're watching this and you're not in a fine place. You let me know. And I'm looking at I've been getting emails, I've been getting messages, and I'm going to consider and weigh somebody's going to get the library, okay? I'm not going to make some contest. This isn't like the Magic Christian, old David Niven comedy movie from the 1960s, you know, where you got to dive in a pool of something nasty to get a certificate for the book. You don't have to write me an essay, sing me a song. For God's sake, don't send me any money. I just don't want it to go to someone who's immediately going to be like, oh, just flip this on eBay. You know, hey, if down the road the time comes and things are still tight for that person, they're like, I got these antique AD&D books, man. I got to eat. Well, I understand. But that's what this is part of. And Mage's Musings, God bless you. Thank you for adding to it. So let me, this will go, the stack is carefully put away for now. Where can I put this that it won't cause a disaster? Let's see. I'll put it right here. It'll be safe right there. All right. So I've missed a few things. My opening theme music plays Ultra. If you're talking about the song by KMFDM, yeah, maybe. No, it's not a haircut, old school. It's not a haircut. I just got my hair back. I just got it back. It has not gone yet, Dungeon Minister. It will. Hey, Bill, quick question. Since I know he's on Twitter, could you please tell Dungeon Minister I said hi? Dungeon Minister Wheeling Dragon says hi. But anyway, I didn't want to miss you guys. All right, so Elizabeth Stranger, hello. You really need deities, demigods. Well, Elizabeth, yeah, I think don't we all? Don't we all? You're officially the chat gang. I don't know. You got rivals across the street over on Twitter. There's a Twitter chat gang also. So anyway, it's like the Black Dragon Society. What was it? Count Dante, the deadliest man in the world. If you know, you know. Deadly Dungeon Master. Yes, Mondays. Bedtime story time. I always stream over bedtime. Tell them to wait. Give them an iPad or something. Is it what parents do today? Anyway, I'm kidding. So anyway, but that is not the end of Mail Call. That's not the end of Mail Call at all. Because 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 I have more stuff. So this is where I get a little embarrassed about this, because going way back into May, going way back into April, Chris Ryder reached out to me because he's got a tabletop RPG. He's got a post-apocalypse tabletop RPG. And you guys know, if there's anything I love more than delving dungeons, or as much as delving dungeons, not more than, but as much, it's picking through the post-apocalypse. And sometimes they're the same thing. So to that end, Christopher Ryder reached out to me. He's like, hey, here's some free gratis PDFs for my game. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. I'll talk about that. And I'll tell you about that. And I'll tell you what I think about that. And he was like, hey, did you get a chance to look at the PDFs? A few weeks later, and I was like, hey, thanks for pinging me. I haven't yet. No, this is a different one, Jorge. Guy Calgary. I love that name. Is that like Guy Caballero from SCTV? I said, but send me an email again. And by the way, this is Sin from Iron Empire. But anyway, so this started like back in December. I'm saying it's May, like it's not that long ago. Thank you, Squig Burger. Yes, that is my second edition box. There's a third edition box behind it, and I have the guts of the fourth edition in just a cardboard box around here. That's right, Kabuki. Kabuki knows what time it is. Here's his chair for respect. Man, the late, great Joe Flaherty. God, that was great stuff. Anyway. So, again, this goes all the way back to December, where Sin of the Iron Empire is pinging me, and he's like being super duper patient and not throwing bananas at my head or dragging me through, social media dragging. At any rate, so he finally said, hey, what if I send you physical copies? And I was like, I wasn't gunning for physical, no, you have to send me free crap. You have to send me free physical stuff, or else. He was just kind enough to do it, and they arrived today. And this looks really cool. So we have the Navarro Knight narrator manual, and then we have the Navarro Knight field guide. So I'm going to be digging into these. And, who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll get a deep dive out of these. But let's see. I can read you guys the back cover blurb. This is from the back of the narrator manual, which I guess would be like a dungeon master's guide. Rise into the role of narrator, guide your players' enemies, scatter traps in their paths, haunt their nightmares. The world of safety is gone, civilization is dead, and anomalies distort the landscape. America broke apart, Europe crumbled, Russia was swallowed by ash storms, China still boils in the afternoon sun. Reality has been replaced by merciless possibility. Crush their hopes and dreams, write their story as legend. This book contains all a narrator needs to start playing the Navarro Knight with their friends. An introduction to the rules and challenges for narrators, a history of the Earth and the collapse, dangers of the new world, vehicles and overwhelming firepower. I'm all about vehicles and overwhelming firepower, ladies and gentlemen. methods to create memorable stories. I love it. And then this is the blurb from the back of the Navarro Night Field Guide. Welcome to the world after and between. It's a land of mist and violence, of voices in the dark and buckshot reverie. You've been left behind in the wake of that collapse, one in thousands, still on a world's husk, a desperate scream in a lethal storm. Lucky for you, this book has all you need to even the playing field. An introduction to the Navarro Knights rules, character creation and advancement, gear, weapons and armor, cybernetics and genetics, reality warping psionics. So we basically have a Dungeon Master's Guide and a Player's Handbook, and then I have some PDFs, which he generously laid on me. So I'm very looking at getting into these. Squigburger has the right of it. There is no firepower like overwhelming firepower. And with a name like Squigburger, he ought to know. So thank you very much, Chris, for sending that along. I'm gonna be digging into that. And at the very least, I think I'll give it a review for you guys. I'm your Sarah Connor for the Apocalypse. I am sorry. I am not. I'm not banging Kyle Reese for you guys. Nope. I'm not doing it. Navarro Knights make you think the Enclave is going to show up. Well, that's cool too. So yeah, we're gonna be tucking into those books soon. But thank you for the books, and thank you for your patience. For your patience, Chris Sin. I apologize for making you wait so long. He is. There's no denying it. Daniel Rowan, young Michael Bean. Let me tell you what. Back in the 1990s, I read Neuromancer in like 1989 or 1990, maybe even 88. But I read Neuromancer, loved it. A link to the game. You know what? Yeah, I'll share it. Let me see. This is on Giant Slayer Games here. I'm going to throw this link. Come on. Open up. Dude, and because I know folks over on Twitter can't see it, I'll put it up there so you guys can check that out there. Anyway, so read Neuromancer back in 88, 89, 90, right in there. And of course, Terminator came out in 84. And I remember thinking, I wish I could make a film version of Neuromancer, because nobody would have been better in the role of Henry Dorset Case than Michael Biehn at that time in his life. He would have been a supremely awesome Case. And that it never happened is an absolute tragedy. Although a few years later we got almost at Burning Chrome, we got Johnny Mnemonic from Robert Longo, who is good friends with William Gibson, and William Gibson wanted to direct a full-length film version of Neuromancer. Johnny Mnemonic's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's so not good. At the time in the 90s, I would have said Ridley Scott has to direct. But he also might have looked at it and said, well, this is, I did Blade Runner 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9, 10, 12 years ago, and it bombed. So I'm not doing this again. But yeah, Michael Biehn would have been just amazing. That is so weird that you bring... So, Gonzalo Lira's bar tab references the band The Call. I just on a spur of the moment yesterday morning... Was it yesterday morning? Or was it Friday morning? I can't... But I was blasting the song Let the Day Begin by The Call. An interesting twist about The Call... The Call basically reinvented themselves. They're an evangelical ministry now. It's the same guys, the same performers, and that's fine. I am not even a little bit. We're not having a discussion about that, I guess is what I'm saying. But it just took me by surprise. I was like, I want to hear Let the Day Begin. It must have been Sunday morning. Yeah, it would have had to have been Sunday morning. And so, I pulled it up on YouTube, The Call Music, and I click on their page. I'm like, oh, what other stuff have they got? And it's just all sermons. Like, their music is still on YouTube. You have to search for songs specifically. But if you go to their YouTube page, it's just all sermons. I thought that was really interesting. What Splat Belt books are on my shelf for AD&D 2E? Well, none. Weren't they always? I don't know, Gonzalo. Let the Day Begin was pretty much the breadth and depth of my experience with The Call. And the stuff that I read and saw online didn't seem to contraindicate that. Those brown 2E books. I don't have it. I promise you, I do not have any 2E books out here. I do not. These are the AD&D reissues from 2014 that Wizards of the Coast put out, if that's what you mean. This is Simple Sixes and Blazing Sixes from James F. Keck. This is Call of Cthulhu Delta Green stuff. Fred Soberhagen's Berserker board game. These are Battletech Hex maps. I got this copy Dragonlance Adventures, which I'm also probably gonna throw into the stuff. Early 90s too. I do not have any of those. I don't know where you're seeing those, Mead. Let's talk about how I run an inn or a tavern. I haven't seen any news about the WoW signal, Jimmy Invictus. Mark Morrison wants to know about how I run taverns. Generally speaking, it's just I will roll like a D6 for an encounter and ignore anything that is too wacky out of the ordinary. Or sometimes if it's at night and it's in a sketchy part of Greyhawk, then I'll do. Yeah, there's a harlot. She's leaning in on you guys. She wants to take one of you upstairs. And I rolled a succubus, not on the harlot table. Yeah, Kabuki, I saw you talking about the warning over on the Twitter. No way Paul Newman could eat 50 eggs. Well, I bet you we could. But yeah, by and large, it's just I just kind of have this image of you're there is a bar barmaid, barman, tavern wenches, tavern boys. Um, if it's really provincial, it might literally just be like open to the street. Like literally, you just like walk up off the street, and then you're standing at the bar. Can a paladin, if he detects evil, or she, if he or she do detect evil, then possibly. And being as it's a succubus, they're not going to be able to get near him anyway. Or her. Again, we're equal opportunity here. So, not able to get near. Jack Photon. Is there a correct way to play TTRPGs, and how do you define that, if I believe it is? There are two subcategories of the correct way to play TTRPGs. And they are both equally important. One, that you are adhering to the rules, and B, that everyone is having fun. I think if you are arbitrarily ignoring the rules and it is impinging on people's fun that you are doing that, then you're playing it wrong. I think if you're hurting people who don't want to be hurt, like emotionally at the table, when you're playing TTRPGs, you're playing them wrong. Games are meant to bring people together. Even if you play as an adversarial DM, the worst adversarial DM should still want to see his players triumph. Players, let me tell you something. Us Dungeon Masters, we're in your corner. We want you to win. We want you to overcome the things we throw at you. You might not believe that. And when I say adversarial DM, it makes people angry because they picture Neckbeard who has like quantum pit traps. Oh, you avoided my pit trap in the hall? Well, now it's in this hall. Ha ha. You're going to hit that pit trap regardless. It's a golem of annihilation, a golem made out of spheres of annihilation, and it is chasing you. It moves. What is the fastest you could move? 20? It moves 24. You know, I'm not talking about that kind of adversarial DM. My adversarial DMing is I'm coming at you knives out. But I'm not making it any harder than it needs to be. I'm making it just hard enough. I don't have to come up with arbitrary, unfair ways to off characters in a game. Players are typically capable of getting their characters offed just crossing a river, climbing a tree, walking up a flight of stairs, walking down a street. I don't have to do anything extraordinary. It's easy for me to off characters in a game. The hard part is keeping you guys alive. And that is what being an adversarial DM is all about. Because I cheer and I fist pump when players overcome challenges in my game. Oh, I moan and groan. But let me ask you something. How many people in here have ever played football? Pee-wee, middle school, high school, college even. How many of you guys know how in players' faces coaches will get if you screw up? Go watch footage. You can pull it up on ESPN. Any coaches. Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Gus Malzahn, any college coach. They don't sound happy. They don't sound pleased. They want the best out of those guys. And when they go out and score touchdowns, all the hardship that they put them through, they're cheering that on. You know? That's what I think. Oh, Nordic Maelstrom. No. You get down on the college level, and coaches are still hardcore. Hey, I'm a Crimson Tide fan, but I know this is fairly standard. But yeah, you screw up on Saturday, come Monday practice, Nick Saban would have you running stadium steps till you were puking. Trust me. You'd remember the lessons. Big Yehuda, that coach who was crying and said my team should be excited. Okay, so I don't know I don't think he was crying, but it was Brian. Crap! I'm trying to think of his last name. Anyway, he coaches LSU now, but he was coaching. He was coaching Notre Dame. Alabama was beating the brakes off of them in a national championship, and a reporter asked him, "Well, what do you think of your team's execution?" And he looked at her and said, "I'm all for it." And you're right, it is hilarious. Brian Kelly, thank you. I blanked on him. Doing push-ups on the ice during ice hockey practice blows. I never had to do that. So rules is written. Have I played any Judges Guild, and was it Inferno? I do like hockey, Nordic, just to watch casually. I have not played Inferno. I have played Tegel Manor. I have an orange covered Tegel Manor on the shelf over here. Yeah, I really veered off. But anyway, the point behind what I'm saying about adversarial DMing is that to be an adversarial DM is not to be a killer DM. Killer DMs are a dime a dozen and you should avoid them. Adversarial DMs are good. And it makes people mad when I say that. Guys, by adversarial DMing, I don't mean I want to hurt you or your feelings or run you out of the game or make you feel bad for playing the way you play or cackle as I off your character time and again. That's not what I mean by adversarial DMing. So rest assured when I say adversarial DMing, I mean it in the best possible way. And maybe I need a different term than adversarial DMing. Maybe I just need to pick a different term. But it just always seemed to fit. You know? Like, okay, you guys are familiar with Top Gun, right? You know Top Gun? Okay. When Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards, they go to the Naval Flight Weapons Training School in Miramar, California. They moved it up the coast. It's not in Miramar anymore. Anyway, the instructors who fly against them are trying to shoot them down. They're trying to teach them a lesson that they'll never forget. Today, if I was a Soviet or Chinese or Canadian or Venezuelan or Cuban or breakaway Hawaiian or whoever, and you were not flying up to your 100% against me, I'd have blown you out of the sky. But they're not going to strap a couple of live sidewinders underneath their aggressor aircraft and chase these guys around, actually trying to shoot them down. They're trying to teach them a lesson so they become better. That's what I think of when I think of adversarial DMing. Adversarial air warfare training, adversarial DMing, same thing. So maybe when you leave my table and you go to somebody else's table and they are a killer DM, you know, they're able to get through that. Killer DMs have to play Hackmaster. Yeah. Well, Hackmaster is the Mad Magazine version of D&D anyway. Since I like post-apocalypse, have I checked out Dystopian Dawn? I have not checked out Dystopian Dawn yet, Ultra American. It's on my list. Kabuki wants me to stop saying adversarial DMing. No. Lawful neutral DM. Hackmaster DM. Have I played with campaign? I have not. Air warfare DM sounds good. Oh, Kabuki, don't say that in an airport. What? Oh, I'm at the airport to pick up Jonathan. There he is. Hi, Jack. And then, you know, you get tackled by DSA. Well, you know what? So here's a little inside baseball about Bluto. If you guys remember Bluto. 101 folks watching now, by the way. That is awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in. There's 70 of you over on Twitter. There's 31 of you over here on YouTube. Hey-o, Imperial Ramblings. But Bluto is a former F-15 pilot. And when he went through the school, and they went through aggressor training, of course, they still teach gunfighting. I mean, after the lessons in Korea and Vietnam, they absolutely still teach gunfighting. And the instructor said, "We still teach gunfighting because they're not called hittles." Which I thought was funny. Yes, I am, Jorge, and don't call me Shirley. But yeah, they're not called hittles. And Daniel, that is absolutely, like, I don't know when the mindset shifted to, if the DM puts it out here, we can beat it just with sheer force of arms. And if the party doesn't, oh my God, you're a killer DM. No. I'm not a killer DM if I set something out there and I give it specific or I don't give it a specific win condition. Sometimes you just have to run away from something. Well, that's not very heroic. You know, the hobbits ran away from Al-Farazon. Hey, how much of a dick DM was J.R.R. Tolkien? Very well, you're all playing halflings. You're all playing halflings, and you fight as first level fighting men. Oh, that's jolly nice. Thank you. Yes, well, anyway, along comes this bloody great ringwraith on a horse. We'll hide. Good move, you know? May 4 young players rage quit when one character died? That's dumb. But yeah, no, that's even Brave Sir Robin ran away. I want to face a little bit of the peril. I can believe it, Nordic, and that's part of the endemic. That's part of the endemic nature now of every challenge must be at exactly my level and no higher. And level scaling is ridiculous. Jack, Chronicler of the Northlands, and I talked about this. The video game Oblivion, the vicious chicken of Bristol. But yeah, the video game Oblivion will always scale regenerating encounters for you. In the market district of the Imperial City in the video game Oblivion. Thank you, Doc Flamingo. Yes. He bravely ran away. Thank you for the super. But there's a section of the city called the Market District. There are shops, indoor and outdoor, where you can buy stuff. There is a sewer you can enter. There's a public sewer you can enter, and there's ne'er-do-wells in the sewer. They always it wasn't Wendy O. Williams, was it, Kabuki? I'm sorry, I'm kidding. Whatever. But they always respawn at your level. So if you're walking around with god tier weapons and you go down into the sewers in the Imperial City through the Market District, the bandits, the grubby bandits who mog people for a few gold coins, have equipment as good as yours. Daedric weapons, glass weapons, ebony weapons, and armor. And they're just as tough as you are. That's level scaling in action. And you should never do it. That is, as a DM, you shouldn't do it. That the video game does it means that you can farm high-end stuff and then flip it to merchants and increase that merchant skill till you get to the point where one of the merchants will teach you a spell that will, or she will basically help you level your charisma. She will increase your charisma, which enables you to get better prices at other merchants. Yeah, Kabuki really does have a t-shirt that's older than most people. But anyway, so yes, level scaling bad. Challenge rating bad. So this week, I'm gonna have to reach out. I don't want to. I don't want to like speak too soon about this. I'm just kind of looking here. So I got a message and I want to make sure I get this because it actually pertains. Don't want to miss this. But anyway, so there's a chance. There's a chance we'll have a guest on this week. I just want to confirm it. I just had to go through my appointments and everything. But we'll see. We'll see if we're going to have a guest this week. I got to ask them, and I don't want to say, oh yeah, it's going to be this guy. And then, it ends up, he's not able to. So I will talk to him between now and tomorrow and let you guys know whether or not we're going to do a guest this week. Tomorrow night. Now, let me tell you what, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please absolutely positively subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we are playing first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons live stream. We got us a good stable of players, but let me tell you, they're like, this is not like, oh, you're like Critical Role. No. We're playing first edition AD&D as first edition AD&D is played. I got a group of players. We're going to sit down and we're going to play first edition AD&D. If you guys have a question about how we're playing, ask in the live stream. It's not just a passive thing. Ask in the live stream. If I don't answer it, one of the players might. If one of the players doesn't, one of the audience might, because I have the best looking and smartest, and I will die on that hill, first edition AD&D 5-night-a-week live stream show audience on YouTube. And I don't think anybody can dispute that fact. We don't have script reads. We don't have table reads. We don't have plot arcs. We don't have seasons. Tomorrow night, 5 minutes after we start, there could be a TPK. And everybody's rolling up new characters, and we're starting a different adventure in a different part of the world, maybe a different module even. So please tune in for that if you like that. Wednesday, Kyle will be here. We may have enough people for Kyle to kick off a game on Wednesday. We'll have to see. Thursday, again, I'm kind of in a holding pattern. I'm going to find out if we're going to have a guest on Thursday, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow about that. Friday, guess what? More Let's Play. That's right, Gamma World. Actual play Gamma World game. And it's first edition Gamma World. And if you don't know what Gamma World is, you're just going to have to tune in. So we'll have to see how that works out. Jorge dropping the Mystery Men reference there. I got that. I love that. Do I ever run the adventures I've written? I have run them before. I ran them at conventions. And then Saturday, I'm probably not doing anything Saturday. But we shall see. That is what's coming up. I open the table to any further discussions and questions before we call it an evening. Just let me know. There's 77 of you fine folks watching over on Twitter right now. And that's 38 of you guys watching here on, well, no, that'd be 28. No, I don't know. 105 minus 77 of you guys watching here on YouTube right now. The gamma world, well, you know what? It's a dangerous world. It's a dangerous world. Project you're working on. Jimmy, you're going to have to ping me offline. I can't say 100% right now. The airspeed velocity of we figured it out. It's like 8 miles an hour. Well, no, I think they just left Blue October's corpse where it was. They and it's been more than 24 hours since Blue October bit the dust, so a life ray is not going to help. So any more questions? Any questions at all? We got a few more minutes, everyone. Have I gotten to higher levels of AD&D where the characters have strongholds? I have a character in my Monday night game. She has surpassed name level as fighter. And although she is still adventuring, she wishes to establish a stronghold near the elven city of High Folk, which is close to Perrinland on your Greyhawk map. Where are they in AD&D? Have they moved on to S3? Monday night AD&D? No. Tuesday night AD&D? Definitely not. Yes, I have Lightmane. I use the training cost. I use the training costs, and they verily pay for it. I have not had a player play so poorly that they have to train for 4 weeks, though. I can honestly say that. The S series are all wonderful in their own separate way. S1 is a college level course in surviving AD&D for players. S2 is just, it is such a gonzo fun house. S3, need I say more? But S4 and its add-on, its modular module, WG4, primo Greyhawk. Love it to death. I don't agree with Alan Hammock. Wait, was Alan Hammock? No, it wasn't Alan Hammock who said that. Who was it that said that? At any rate, I don't agree that it is. I have the internet here. Loshik said S4 was great because it's your standard Gygaxian guilt treasure hole, and I don't agree with that assessment. Yes, there's a lot of treasure in it, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. Yes, you can get as a side quest from the gnomes that you make friends with, that you can potentially ally with, I should say, in S4, they will beseech you to go investigate where the monster raids have been coming from, and you will find the monsters are based in the Forgotten Temple of Tharizdun. I would love to have her on the show, Alan. We're literally like, my orbit's over here and her orbit's over there, and it's like we can never sync up in terms of time, because like right now it's like 2:30 in the morning where she's at. Anyway, I think that just about does it for me tonight, guys. 112 people watched. Thank you all for being here tonight. I love you guys to pieces. Big super thanks to Doc Flamingo for the super chat. That's very helpful. Thank you so much, Doc Flamingo. I really appreciate that. A treatment on turning. You feel like the details are thin. Yes, but not right now. If we end up not hey, maybe we can talk clerics and cleric stuff on Thursday. If we end up not having a guest on Thursday, I would certainly be okay doing that. But thank you all again for being here tonight. Hopefully I will see you all and more tomorrow night. Be good to each other. Be kind. DMs, be adversarial, but be fair. I love you all. And regardless of whether you're a DM or a player, watch out for those dreaded owl bears. Peace. See you tomorrow.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow.